Hey everyone, welcome back to Williamson Ridge Outdoors. Today, I just couldn't wait. I've actually decided to go ahead and start trying to work on my motorcycle that I got the other day. And this thing, it's actually a lot worse than I thought it was. I thought this one here would maybe be, throw some gas in it and maybe have to change fuel lines or something like that, put a battery in it, and it would be good to go. But it is not. And the reason why is because the inside of the gas tank has rusted up. Even though it's been closed, this thing has been kept in a dry area for the last 12 years. But even with that, it's rusted inside like crazy. So what we're going to do is pull the gas tank off of it and then get it cleaned out, because there's no way I'm even going to try to start this. I'm not going to crank it over, nothing, until I get the rust out of the tank, or at least the majority of it. Once we get the gas tank cleaned out, and we're going to put the fuel back to it, and we're going to see if this thing will fire up. Hasn't been started in 12 years. It has been sitting in a basement, which it's been pretty much dry. It's not a dingy, dusky basement, but it's still a basement. And evidently it has definitely drawn moisture somewhere, because inside the gas tank is rusted like crazy. But I'm really excited about this, because when we do that, like I say, this thing hasn't been cranked over, nothing, for 12 years. I have the paperwork. Actually, when my dad bought this motorcycle, he never rode it. He brought it back to his house and parked it. And he did get the title work and all that kind of stuff done, and got the registration on the motorcycle. And when that was done was 2007. So, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be a challenge, or whether it's going to be a matter of just making sure that the tank's clean, don't get stuff into the carb. The throttle actually right now is also stuck. You cannot move the throttle, so I'm going to mess with that a little bit and see if I can't get it freed up. I think it's actually in the carb itself, because the cable, you can see it actually move a little bit. So I don't know. We're just going to see. We're going to get into it. We're going to find out. Kind of hard to see down in there, but you can see all the rust on the inside of the tank. And look at the gasoline, what color it is down in there. It is nasty. Nasty, nasty. But we're going to empty this out, and we're going to put our rust cleaner in there and see if we can't get it cleaned up. So we're back out here the next day. Yesterday was my day off work. Today, I just got home just a minute ago, and the rust remover did absolutely nothing. I mean, I had that stuff in there. It says to leave it in there for 30 minutes, and I left it in there for 3 or 4 hours and could see no difference in the rust at all. And even whenever I dumped it out, the green collar of the rust remover was still green, the same as it was. So I seen another method on a YouTube channel. I can't remember what the name of it was, or I'd tell you what it is, but I can't remember it. But they said to use apple cider vinegar in your rusty gas tank, and that's what we're doing. You're supposed to leave the apple cider vinegar in there for 2 days, and then come back and check it, see how it's doing. And then if it's not to your liking, you can leave it in there for a little bit longer, whatever. But the main thing is, when you're finished with it and you empty it out, you've got to neutralize the acid on the inside of the tank. So you take a solution of baking soda and distilled water, and you mix that up, and you rinse that tank out with that in order to neutralize the acid from the vinegar. It out through here, so I don't know if I showed the tank before. I'm super impressed at how well that actually worked in removing the rust out of that tank. We will be back here. I was thinking about making this in a few different videos, but I'll edit it down to where that it's all in one, and you'll see this thing start up on this video, if it starts. So we finally made it to the point of getting to crank this thing over and trying to see if it starts. Now, let me go through a little recap of what and all I've done to it. Mainly, I took everything apart that had to do with the fuel system, because the old gas that had sat in it for the last 13 years, this motorcycle has not been cranked in 13 years. You know, I did crank it just to make sure the motor would turn over, but I didn't have any fuel or anything going to it because I didn't want to suck any of that old gooey fuel into the carburetor or into the engine any more than it already was. So anyways, I took the carburetor off, rebuilt most of the carburetor, and what I couldn't, I ended up just cleaning it out the best that I could. Put some new fuel lines on it. I put a new petcock on the fuel tank, which is the wrong one. This is the first time that I'm going to try to start this, and we're going to see. I've got the carb on there. I've got everything ready to go. The fuel's turned on. It's time to try it. This thing has not been started in 13 years, and I'm really anxious about doing this, which... Well, I may have to take it to somebody that knows what they're doing about rebuilding carburetors and have it gone through. It didn't start, so, you know, it is what it is. But anyways, we're going to roll it in here. We're going to get everything put away for the night, and hopefully get back to this here in just a day or two and try to get this thing going again. Man, it's right on the edge. I know it is. And if I can just get that carburetor functioning correctly, it'll be good to go. So anyways, keep watching. Well, we're back on the motorcycle again, and I've gone through the carb again and just, you know, kind of went through and made sure, you know, took a little wire actually and run it through like the needle jets and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to try to start this thing again before I take the carb to somebody and have it professionally rebuilt. I do know for sure that there is fuel getting down into the float bowl and all that kind of stuff, and it's filled up, so we're going to try it and see how it goes. So like I said before, this is the first time that the first time I've been trying to start it in 13 years. It has sat without the motor being cranked or anything until here in the last couple of days when I've been trying to get it started. It sat for 13 years. So I'm real excited about this. Like I say, this is their last try before we take the carb and actually take it to somebody professional and have it rebuilt. So we're going to try it out and see what it does. Better turn the choke on because it's cold outside. It's running. Wow. It runs. Wow, let's see if that'll start back up there. Doesn't run great, but it actually fires and runs really good and smooth. It's not missing or trying to spit and sputter, other than, I'm not sure why it just is dying. Maybe the idle screws or something like that needs to be messed with. It runs. Alright, so from what I can see with it right at this point, there's something still definitely not right with the carb, needs some adjustments or something, but it runs. And this engine doesn't even smoke. That is so awesome. It's sat for 13 years and doesn't even smoke. If you want to follow along on the journey of getting this thing completely fixed up, I do have all the parts for this. I found the side covers and all that kind of stuff, but where I've had everything been working on it, of course I have everything off and out of the way. So hopefully I can get maybe the dents fixed and all that kind of stuff and bring this bike back to its former glory. Like I say, follow along with us on our whole journey on getting this thing restored. It's going to be a project over several months. And, I really was excited about getting it started and going. And now that I'm to that point, I can make slower decisions on it. I can get my fuel petcock in, try that. If that doesn't fix it, like I said, I'm going to go to having the carburetor actually rebuilt by a professional. And we'll just go from there. And after that, and I think that'll actually fix it up and get it running real well. So then I'll try to put all the parts back on, get these dents fixed up, and get it right back up to where it used to be. So I'm real excited about it. This thing's going to be so fun to be able to just get back on my first motorcycle I ever owned and drive it down the road, even if I don't go anywhere. I don't know. I might ride it back and forth to work a little bit or something, but at least just be able to take it up and down the road, out to the gas station or something, and bring it back and just keep it in good running condition. I'm so excited about it. And also, I do still have the 1970 Honda CB350 to be working on. So follow along with all that. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up button. Share it with everybody you know. And guys, thanks for watching. Guys, stick around to the end of the video for some bonus footage where I actually continued to work on the motorcycle after I finished up the video and made a little more progress with it. So stick around for that. I hit the kill switch. Won't run on its own, just sit in the idle room, but man, it's not even missing right there. I mean, it's got a good, smooth, nice. Wow, I am so excited about this. You know, like I said before, I don't know if maybe they adjusted stuff or messed with it, and they might have just had that carburetor, like the idle speed and all that stuff messed up. But it seems to be getting better all the time. I'm so excited about it. The more I mess with this thing, the better it gets. And I think it's just going to be a matter of time getting it going, getting everything working good. The front brakes are still locked up. You can't even pull the lever. Even though they're hydraulic brakes, they don't even work on a cable. They're hydraulic, so there must be something, the pistons or something, you know, in the caliper must be what froze up, because it's fluid in the lines. You can't freeze that up, like it's not stuck or rusted. So it's got to be up there in the actual caliper itself. So we'll take that apart one day and try to get that lined out. But check this out. still not perfect, but it's coming along. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, just thought I'd throw this stuff in on the end of this video. It was so cool to get this thing running. It doesn't smoke. It's backfiring a little bit when you're revving it, but just a little while ago you couldn't even rev it. You couldn't get it enough fuel to even go to be able to rev it. So I'm real excited about that. It wouldn't even idle before. Now it's starting to idle. But every time I run it and shut it off and let it sit for an hour and start it back up, it seems to be doing better. So I think it's because everything's getting in the carburetor. The new gas is washing out a lot of that old stuff, and it's definitely helping it out. And you know, it's just getting better and better. I'm so excited about it. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys.